Welcome to The Accidental Rebel, Soul Truths for Women in Midlife. I'm Jen, and today we're celebrating midlife milestones as sacred markers of transformation. Why your birthdays, menopause, and other transitions deserve ritual and celebration, and of course, radical self-love. If you've ever felt like your birthday should be quietly swept under the carpet, not worthy of celebration because, it's nothing special anymore, then listen up. Midlife isn't a crisis to endure. It's a threshold to celebrate. Today I'll share why marking these moments can be not only an act of radical self-love, but a deeper invitation for claiming your path and purpose. I'll share how to actually do it gently, practically, and with soul. This isn't another checklist of something else to do in your busy life. We're going to go deeper. Ritual, meaning, reclaiming joy in your second half. Notice how hearing the word celebration or ritual lands for you. Curious? Stay with me as we address that. Somewhere along the way, many of us stopped marking the moments. We hustled, we strived, we ticked boxes, and the celebrations faded. That's what we're reclaiming today. In this episode today, I'll tell you about my 50th celebration and how it helped me pivot during menopause. I'll share some client stories and ritual examples that you can do yourself. I'll also finish with some deeper reflective questions you can take away, as well as a link to a tiny guided micro ritual you can listen to in your own time. So let's begin with my story. In the lead up to turning 50, I reached menopause, that date of 12 months on from your last period. And it felt bittersweet. Finishing my periods was an end of an era. My youthfulness, I felt. My usefulness, I wondered. I felt a mix of relief, grief, curiosity, but still this clear sense that something was shifting. I remember asking out loud, okay, universe, what should be my next move? What direction is my life going to take now? And the answer came back surprisingly simple and quite favorably, a year of celebration. So you know what? I cried on and off that day that I officially reached menopause. It was this mix of endings and openings. I felt called to mark the moment and not hide from it. It felt like a significant threshold I was stepping over. That line in the sand that changed everything. It invited me to slow down, pay attention, and intentionally choose the next chapter rather than hurtling into autopilot into the next 10, 20 years. Do you remember how you celebrated birthdays and special milestones when you were younger? How have you been marking the moments in your life more recently? Have you given yourself pause to reflect on each decade, each success and failure, each transition, each becoming? How do you want your midlife milestone to be honoured? My personal choice of celebration came from this place of wanting to honour the decades of work, love and service, and to invite more joy and clarity into the years ahead. Because in midlife, we can feel like life is triggered by chaos and crisis. And in fact, we're supported in this transformational shift by two significant planetary transits hitting our natal chart. Specifically, they're called a Saturn square and a Chiron return, and they encourage significant self-reflection for profound self-discovery, healing, and reinvention. Understanding this cosmic timing of this shift helped me to make sense of what I was experiencing, and then the need to celebrate the transition for that opportunity that it offers, this deep, soulful transformation and renewal. You can read or listen more about this in my article and podcast episode 3 on midlife rebellion, and I'll pop the links in the show notes below. So, why don't we celebrate as we age? Part of the reason is cultural. We're taught that value equals productivity, youth, and desirability. The louder the world gets about staying small, the easier it is to forget ritual, meaning, and pause. We trade real celebration for quick escapes, that glass of wine, a weekend treat, something to feel the moment that doesn't actually nourish the soul. Aristotle said, nature abhors a vacuum. That is, if we don't consciously fill our lives with meaning, something else, often distraction or compulsion, will. Carl Jung reminded us that life purpose is more inner than outer, that the outer triumphs don't necessarily heal that inner emptiness. So without ritual, milestones become hollow. Historically, communities marked transitions. They had significant rites of passage. Women held red tents and shared the elder wisdom. Those practices helped us move through change with clarity and support, and we've largely lost that. Even with modern medicine and modern life, it adds a whole nother layer. We're busy treating the symptoms of midlife and menopause and fixing the problems and not pausing to ask what a transition actually means for our hearts and souls. So the result, this void, a sense of aimless movement, and the quieter invitation may be that this moment is asking it to be honoured, not medicated away or ignored. Could we be living a life of impossible expectations? We learn early on as women that to be loved, recognised, and appreciated, it's about what we do and how we please. We work hard, get a good education, climb the ladder of success because we can, pause to have kids, but don't pause too long or we'll miss that promotion, be the best mum, be a devoted wife, raise intelligent, happy kids, bake cakes, be the best host, don't forget to diet and exercise to stay slim and have a rocking body, care for others, be your best friend's personal counsellor, keep the house tidy and the washing up to date, oh, and work on yourself, stay calm, at peace, and be the life of the party and the glue of the family, all in a day's work. Only to have trouble sleeping, recapping conversations, or listing out the next day's to-do lists. We hustle and multitask, and yet feel guilty if we need a sick day, especially too. Despite the accolades, the status, and all the busyness, each achievement can begin to feel like an anticlimax. If we don't pause for celebration and reflection along our path, we begin to feel a deeper and profound sense of emptiness, perhaps feeling disconnected from the once younger, more joyful you, the creative, deeper, soulful you, disconnecting us from our very nature. I was on that road to burnout and disconnection and emptiness. By the time midlife hit, the exhaustion caught up. That brain fog sets in and that niggling inner dialogue begins. What's it all for? Who am I? What's the meaning to all of this? Am I just a slave to life and those around me? Does it get better? Yes. And the doorway back to you begins with ritual and celebration. So let me share 2 stories of reclaiming celebration. First, when my client Anna came to see me, she said, I feel disconnected, like me and my soul are miles apart from each other, and I don't know how to reconnect. She felt this void, this lack of purpose and joy from this once happy child that she was, and she was struggling with self-love and found herself shying away from recognition and celebration. As working together, we were able to see the patterns in her everyday life that kept her in this state of constant hustling and self-betrayal, to be honest. We took steps to shift how she makes time for recognizing her successes and bringing more sacred connection into her life. Rather than adding to an otherwise busy life, she was able to pivot and have her life shift around her values of love and joy and freedom, filling the voids with meaning and self-love. I've spent years working alongside spiritual mentors and guides and learning from leaders who are deeply connected to ancient traditions and the wisdom that they bring. And one pearl of wisdom was this saying, life is an offering. It's like an actionable prayer of gratitude for this gift of life. So with a practice of celebrating and honoring that, we're living intentionally and purposely. By living from this place, we not only enjoy the moments, but also benefit others around us. It's inspirational living for yourself and for others, leading by example. We do this by taking pause, reflecting, and then celebrating. Every birthday, achievement, and transition is a sacred opportunity to mark the moment, to celebrate this life as an offering. There are also opportunities for release and renewal by mining the gold of what was and letting go of what no longer serves, by consciously creating a new way of being, born out of the wisdom of our past, and rebirthing how we intend to move forward. Have you ever felt disconnected from the real you? The part of you who yearns for more freedom, more joy, more play, more deeper soulful wisdom. You're not alone. So many women I see in midlife are yearning for this reconnection. The good news is that there is a path back. It starts with a moment of pause, just like my next client. Mandy came to see me feeling broken and lost after turning 50, reaching menopause, and facing a divorce. After that initial relief of making that major transition in her life that felt more in alignment with her, the harsh realities of divorce, along with the relentless symptoms of menopause, was exhausting, heartbreaking, and even confusing. She started questioning her decisions and yearning for guidance on how to pick herself back up and begin her new life. Working together, we created this sacred ritual for her new beginnings: reflection, grounding, sound healing, and intention setting. And the outcome? She felt more courageous. By letting go of what no longer served and stepping into this clearer intention for her next chapter, she was able to breathe new life into her purpose. The ritual held space for her grief and an invitation for possibility, both at once. My own ritual involved a dear friend, Paula, who is also a spiritual guide. She held space for me. We built an altar at home with flowers and crystals and 3 candles to represent the 3 archetypes of maiden, mother, and wise woman. We used mantras, little music, and some oracle cards, and we honoured the decades of service and released the younger me. And we did so symbolically with this small stone stack to ground my new wise woman intentions. So each stone held the intention that I had moving into this next chapter of my life. It really felt potent and sacred and permission giving. It felt like this real rite of passage. These rituals don't have to be elaborate. They can be a single candle, walking to the river with this small stone of intention, or perhaps a handwritten letter to your future you. I invite you to place a hand on your heart now and take a deep breath. Now think of one small thing from your life that deserves recognition right now. Take some time to honor yourself for that. and take another deep breath. So then what can ritual look like for you? Here are 3 simple, practical ways to create your own midlife celebration. You could, option 1, do a solo personal ceremony. You could find a quiet place indoors or in nature. Choose one anchor item like a crystal, a ring, a photo, a stone to help symbolize this transition and what you intend for yourself moving forward. And then I recommend doing this micro sequence of gratitude, release, intention. So gratitude, name 3 things that you're deeply grateful for. Release, name 1 thing that you're willing to let go of or stop or not allow into this next chapter moving forward. And then an intention, name 1 thing that you desire to invite into your life right now. And then close with 3 long grounding breaths and place your anchor somewhere meaningful that you can connect with that every day. Another option could be a small women's gathering to honor midlife together with others. You could invite 3 to 8 friends for a circle, and you could all light a candle each and write down 1 acknowledgement and 1 blessing for each woman in the circle and end with a simple blessing or song. Taking time to acknowledge how each of you have a role in your community as women, to hold each other, learn from each other, and inspire each other as we move through these significant passages. Witness the burdens and the fears that you each carry that you can let go or let be, and how you intend to weave your wisdom into the fabric of community. Make it intimate, low pressure, but soul-centered and sacred. You can do micro rituals for your daily life, tiny acts that add up, like writing a letter to your future you, or stacking a stone each day you want to mark a moment, speaking your intention into the stone. Or perhaps write a small piece of paper and place it in a jar to reflect on each birthday. These are easy to sustain and ripple into your everyday life. Creating sacred space for your celebration or ritual could look like creating an altar, creating it how you intuitively feel your devotional space needs to be. Candles, incense, crystals, beautiful fragrant flowers, items of anchor and meaning for you as you embark on this beautiful journey of self. Symbols that honor you and your journey, your past, your present, and your future. Keep it simple. Ritual is not theatre. Ritual is not magic that fixes everything instantly. It's sacred intention plus repeated small acts that train the nervous system to receive and accept permission, to rest and receive and celebrate. And over time, those small permissions reshape how you move through life and live in alignment with soul. Let's make this even more tangible. I've created a tiny guided micro ritual that you can listen to in your own time. I've added this in the links in the show notes below. You can save it and keep this micro ritual as a template that you can repeat monthly, weekly, or anytime you feel a threshold to step over and through. So ladies, it's time to mark your moment. Your midlife milestones aren't something to hide from or apologize for. They're sacred thresholds asking to be honored. Whether it's your 50th birthday, reaching menopause, a career transition, or any other significant shift, these moments deserve ritual and reflection and celebration. This is your invitation to reclaim that ancient practice of honoring life's passages, to fill the void with intentional joy rather than unconscious distraction, to mark the moment rather than let it slip by unmarked. Your life is an offering. How will you mark the milestones? Are you ready to create your own sacred celebration? If you want more structure, I've written a detailed blog post called Celebrating Midlife Milestones as Sacred Markers of Transformation. It includes altar ideas, ritual elements, and examples that you can adapt. I've also recorded a free soul alignment meditation to help you reconnect and hear what your soul is calling for next. This meditation calms your nervous system and creates the space so your rituals land. You'll find links in the show notes. If you would like someone to hold space for a personalised You ceremony, I offer those too, and you can see my services in the link below. Or you can book a complimentary 30-minute soul mastery discovery call, and we'll explore what's happening for you and how ritual and practice might support your next chapter. If you'd like the links I mentioned, check the show notes below. As we close, here are 3 short questions to carry with you this week. You can whisper them, journal them, or sit with them in your body. Question number 1. Where have I been too busy to celebrate the good stuff? 2. What is one milestone I will mark in the next month? And lastly, what small ritual will I commit to this week to honour my milestone? May you mark your moments with intention. May you fill your life with small sacred yeses, and may celebration become a daily practice rather than an annual stress. This is Jen, the Accidental Rebel. Thank you for listening, and until next time, be gentle with yourself and maybe ask your soul today, how will I mark the moments?